of your monthly expenses. Right? How many of you do a financial budget? A lot of financial planners here. Right? What's the amount of money actually spent on a month-to-month basis on work-related expenses? About 50%. Go and tabulate it out, right? And surprise yourself. Once you retire, you no longer have that. But what goes up? Then you have a lot of free time. And that's exactly what retirement gives us. Retirement gives us time. Whilst we are employed, we are working for money. What don't we have? Time. Why? We're trading time for money. Isn't it? If I'm employed, hey, I'm here talking to you, I'm better off playing golf next door. That's a choice. I can't play golf there because I'm employed. Right? Am I not trading time for money? Exchanging services. Alright? So when you are retired, you have plenty of time. And now, with Tony saying everybody can fly, guess what you're going to do? You know, travel explosion, low cost. Not only Tony, now he's got a competitor called Malindo. You don't have to fly first class, and even first class, business class prices are coming down. But think about it, yet time, travel is something that is ever on everyone's mind. Who doesn't like to travel? Everybody likes to travel. But not everybody can travel. The trouble is, traveling to a destination is one thing. Do you have the money to enjoy the destination? Otherwise, you take a quick round trip back to KL. Free flights, what Tony says. Right? You go into it and you clock for the free seats, you know. So you take a free flight round trip back to Malaysia. Right? You need money to enjoy your retirement. So that's one. Right? How about healthcare? Is healthcare going to go up? Yes. Transportation is never going to go away. Right? We just got petrol prices going up by 20 cents. Right? So some of these things are going to go up. So on average, minus 50 plus 20, you get your 2/3. And this 2/3 is very important. Right? If you're ever going out there to sell a retirement plan, sell on this. Because if you're not going to be able to replace 2/3 of your last drawn pay, what it means is that your standard of living in retirement is going to drop. For sure it's going to drop. You're going to cut back on some things. Think about it. After working how many years? 30, 40 years. You deserve better. Otherwise, go and sell more. Go attend agency meetings. Go and attend your company sales meeting again. You cannot afford to retire. Right? This is real. How real is this? As real as we breathe the air that's inside this room. Right? So let's go back. Okay? So what's the problem? Still a problem, right? I'm just saying to you, you need 2/3 replacement. That's adequacy. So first, there are 3 problems in retirement income planning. Right? First is adequacy. Do you have 2/3? Now you work out the numbers. If you don't know how to work out the numbers, go visit www.ppa.my. We have a retirement calculator for you. Find out how much is your gap. Now if you think you have solved the first problem, adequacy, second one is railing up. It's called sufficiency. Adequacy has to do with replacing your income. Sufficiency has to do with whether you have enough money to live throughout your retirement years. How long do you think you're going to live? Those who have money, very scared to die. Those who have more money, okay, Sarah. Let's see whether tomorrow I wake up or not. Live from hand to mouth. What a way to live. What a way to live after you've worked so hard during your working years. So what do you think? The mortality tables, for those of you who are in insurance, 76 for ladies, Malaysia, you know. I don't believe that figures actually. Males, 74. I believe that the ladies somehow live 2 or 3 years longer, but not 76. Right? Hong Kong. Is Hong Kong a more stressful place to live? Fast paced, air quality also not so good, summer time actually very foul. What do you think the average lifespan for a Hong Kong person is? Live longer than Malaysia? Huh? You think so? 82 for ladies. How can the average person in Hong Kong live longer than Malaysia? 76. So don't believe the figures. So if you want to plan for tenure, you better look at 20, 25 years. And if God willing, 30 years. The average Americans are now into their 80s and 90s. So the next issue in retirement income is sufficiency. If you don't look at this, you have an issue of outliving your savings. When you outlive your savings, big problem. Big problem. Right? Last one is, even if you think you have adequacy, sufficiency sorted out, inflation. It's a perpetual problem. Excellent for all of us. Right? So what's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is that you can never save enough for retirement. Right? Yes, we do a plan. But that plan is only good today. Tomorrow's assumption may make it invalid because of inflation. Right? So the issue, the concerns is one of dependency. If you don't have, or you outlive it, and EPF says, those people withdraw lump sum out, right? Finish it off in 3 years or 5 years. What are you going to do next? Go back to work? You want to experience what going back to work is like in retirement years. You don't have to experience it yourself. Just take a trip down to Singapore. This is real. Who picks up your trolley at the airport? The uncle, isn't it? Not even that. In the hotels, who makes up your bed? The auntie, isn't it? Go to the food court. Who serves you? It's all elderly. When you're 65 and you are still serving the young ones in the food court, how would you feel? Dependency. So you got to look after yourself. If not, then you're going to put out your hand and you're going to ask who? You're going to ask your family members. Forget about your brothers and sisters. They have their own issues. How about your children? Is it a dependable pension fund? Ask yourself those questions. It's so easy to sell PRS. Yeah. Okay. If not, then you're going to say BRIM. Government now says 1 BRIM, 2 BRIM. Every time they say BRIM, I worry because it's out of taxpayers' money. Right? So what do you want? Do you want to give fish all the time, or do you want to teach people to plan so that they can fish every day for their retirement? This is a moral obligation. It's a social security social economic problem at the national scale. So at the end of the day, either you're going to be financially secure or you're not be financially secure. If you're not going to be financially secure, the worst case scenario is that you're going to be poor in old age. It's one thing to be poor when you're young. It's another thing to be poor when you're old. When you're poor and you're old, what can you do? Right? The worst thing that you can do is do what the Singaporeans do. Dump their parents in JB. You may laugh about it. I don't know how one can actually do it. Only God will judge you, the way you treat your parents. But they actually did it. This is a societal problem, right? Malaysia, we've got a population of 30 million. By 2020, we're going to hit 10% above 60. 10% above 60 classifies as an aging population. So what does that mean? 3 million Malaysians out there. How many of these 3 million Malaysians will be prepared for their retirement? Okay? You can do something about it today. You can do something about it today. Right? It's not about selling something, it's about contributing back to society. If I can help one single Malaysian retire financially secure, I have a big tick on my resume. And that's my reward. What's your reward? Yes, we'll talk about making money later on. But I want you to feel good about what you're doing when you talk about retirement planning. That's huge opportunity, okay? So let's move on. 2/3 of last round pay. How do you get 2/3 of last round pay? The way to do it is that we've run some models, and this is just a model, okay? Okay, we run our numbers, alright? The way to prepare for 2/3 of last round pay, whatever that is, 10,000, 15, 20, 25,000, it doesn't matter. You need 1/3 now. You need to salt away, save aside 1/3 now. So I said to you, right, 1/3 now, wow, a lot of money. Can I afford it? You must be crazy. With the cost of the cost of living so high, I have to do double jobs already. You still ask me to save 1/3. Yeah, lor. Because why? If you don't do it, later on you may be in trouble. So you are just deferring your problems. You're just deferring your problems. Now the good news is that if you're marketing to an employee, is that I come back to EPF. EPF is a mandatory scheme. Don't ask your permission to take 11% off my payroll. Company pays 12. How much is that? 23 minimum. Some companies pay more. Right? What is 1/3? 33. Automatically you have a gap. Automatically you have a gap. So if you want to sell PRS, minimum 10% every month goes into a PRS account. Do not sell on the 3,000 tax break. You're doing a disservice. Alright? If your client needs 6,000 and you say, 3,000 no. Why? You're not selling on need, you're selling on greed. Right? By the time he hits 60, he's going to blame you. How come my glass half full only? You are my financial planner. Some more called consultant. Sell on need, at least 10%. If he needs to put in 1,000 a month, put in 1,000 a month. Needs to put 2,000 a month, have to put in 2,000 a month. Otherwise, the problem is going to come. Alright? So the good news is that in Malaysia, we are very lucky. We have Pillar 2. Now we have Pillar 3. Right? My mission is to establish Pillar 3. Right? We are very lucky because you only have a 10% gap. You only have a 10% gap, right? And then what the assumptions are: age 25, actually, basically, growing the fund at 5% only. Long-term investment scheme, so you don't need to take pure equity funds actually. We'll talk about that later. All right, so you know that there is an auto gap, and you can sell the 10%. That's what it is, right? So because it is a savings scheme in the first place, we'll talk about the formula to get this done, right? People want to sell at the last minute. I'm sure December coming, right? So you're going to see your client, hey, you missed this, $3,000 deduction. When you sell in December, you're not only creating problem for yourself, you create problem for me. Because I get a huge volume of business coming in, and all my staff are all stressed out, and it's the year end, please don't do it. And it's the worst one to sell, right? You're competing with holidays. Everybody goes on holidays in December, right? I'm sure, or it's Christmas. Somehow it's the spending month, all right? Somehow it's not the working month. Don't go and ask me to sign up for. Come back in January. Miss lah. What did I say about the EPF? The success of the EPF model has much to teach us in PRS. It is a monthly savings scheme. By monthly, it means first is to save, set aside the 10%. Right? If I need 12,000 to meet my gap, you're asking me to write you a check for 12,000 in December. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. But if you say, why don't you put in 1,000 a month? Okay? It's the first 3 months that's painful, I assure you. After 3 months, biasa already. You adjust to the savings of the 10,000, the 1,000. So it could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 300, it could be 500. Do it on a monthly because we forget that this is a savings scheme. It's not an investment scheme. Right? Investing is lump sum. Savings scheme, right? Because then it goes into the fund. And we are also talking about the future end. We're talking about accumulation as well as decumulation or withdrawals. There is no disciplined structured fund or scheme in Malaysia that allows people to put in their lump sum to convert it into an income stream. You go and ask any Masaleh, whether they're Europeans, Australian, American, they know how to live on retirement income monthly. Asian, I like lump sum. Macam kena lottery. Take out from EPF, and then what happens? Go on a tour, come back. After 5 years, hilang. Then you got 15 years of suffering. Right? It's real. Alright? So monthly in, monthly out. Now, if you believe in this model, think as a distributor, how much AUM are you going to be managing per time? We'll get on to that later on. Very interesting. Different model, right? So I talk about accumulation years, I talk about Decumulation or withdrawal years. So over the lifetime, if you start 35 to 60, is 35 years. And I happen to put 85, I'm not sure, 85, another 25. 25 plus 35 is how many years? 60 years. You have an opportunity to earn a trailing income for 60 years. 60, not 6 months and then they churn out. Or 6 years. 60 years. I cannot find another product in the market that gives me this income stream. Right? Unit trust is good, but it is not long enough. Don't have to lock in. It is an investment. Right? I will talk about that later. So what I want you to know is that if you set up an account, if you sign up a client at age 25, you have an opportunity for 60 years relationship. Until you pass away, you can still sell this relationship back to your provider or pass it on to your son, who may want to do your job as well. It's a great opportunity. Right? How do I sell it? This is the model. Right? To those who can't sell and just sell the 3,000, I suggest you go to PPA website and learn this. It's a 5-minute job. I'm not talking about incentive. Is there any 3,000 incentive inside? Why do we say save, invest, retire, enjoy? Don't forget enjoyment, That's what this is all about, enjoying life. At the end of the day, what drives me to do this is to help people enjoy their retirement life. But to do that, sadly, we need money. It's not fresh air, sunshine. We need money, right? So how do you go about saving? Save regularly, right? Have the time horizon. Could be 20, 15, 20, 30 years. Replacing your two-thirds income. What's so difficult about this? What is so difficult about marketing PRS? I don't understand this. You should be better than me. I'm the CEO of PPA only. It's not very difficult. It is a mindset to sit down and see where the value propositions are. Right? Having saved is good enough. Saving is set aside. You need to compound it for growth. And that's where your compound growth factor, plenty of funds. Right? Find a compounding sector. We all know Rule of 72, right? Anybody who don't know Rule 72? Find a 7% compounding fund, expected returns. Right? And it will give you 2, 3, 400% doubling up on your capital. That's what it is. Hedge inflation, minimum 4%. Otherwise, you might as well put money in fixed deposits. Right? And then think about the risk. Now, your objective is it accumulation or decumulation? At the end of the day, enjoy it. Enjoy it. So most of the time when I talk to people out there, I like to focus and enjoy. It takes away the pain of signing up, you see. It's your future enjoyment that you talk. Okay, we are very busy day to day. Fine, right? Enjoy your current life, but make sure you prepare to enjoy future also. Don't just enjoy everything here, and some of us borrow to enjoy. You get a problem, then go see AKPK first before you even talk to PRS. It's real. Financial planners. Huh? So this is the formula. Save, invest, retire, enjoy. That's why my parent is called Siri. Right? S-E